What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we are going to be talking all about Fenty Beauty. Now, I did do a video very similar to this a couple weeks back. I did a full face testing out hot new products from Rare Beauty, so it will be a very similar concept with a twist. I will be doing a full-blown wear test, and I can guarantee you by the end of this video, you guys are going to be able to determine what's hot, what's not, and what you should pick up for yourself. So if you guys enjoy full face overviews and first impressions and just wear tests in general, make sure you guys stop what you're doing, like this video, turn on your post notifications so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which is every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that being said, let's go ahead and zoom on in and let's get started. So when I tell you guys I'm super excited about today's video, I am so excited. I have a full-blown tray right here with all of the products I personally own from Fenty. I also have some Fenty skin here, which does bring me to the first product. I will be using the EYESHADOW moisturizer. I did recently get this in PR and I'm really excited to see what it's all about. I love that it's like a refillable moisturizer, so that's awesome for packaging. I'm going to take a little bit of this. As you can see, it is a pretty decent like moisturizer consistency. It does kind of smell very scented, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to feel about that, but I'm just putting this all over to prep my skin for foundation and holy glow. Now, the only thing I had on my face before I started was a little bit of the Vitamin C Glycolic C Serum by Desi Skin, and this here is really just amplifying the glow. Ooh, it feels really nice too. I'll definitely have to continue trying this out for a period of time and let you guys know my updated thoughts as I would with any other skincare product. But so far, I will say it is very hydrating and moisturizing on the skin, which is nice. So for face primer, I will be using this little mini face primer by Fenty. Now, one thing I'm definitely going to be mindful of moving forward is to just purchase little mini size products, especially considering how many primers I have in my collection. So I have this one here in soft silk. This is what the consistency looks like. So nothing crazy, nothing major. It's not like running off the back of my hand. It is pretty standard. I have tried this primer in the past, and I will say I love how hydrating the formula is. It feels very silky smooth on the skin. Is it going to really help out with longevity? I don't think that this is that type of primer. Nonetheless, still a really awesome formula that I think is worth checking out. Now that my skin is nice and prepped, I do want to move on to working on the brows. You guys know brows are really the features that are going to frame and shape the face. So I'm going to start off with this brow wax by Fenty. This is a dual-ended product. So on one side, you get the brow wax right here, and then on the other side, my hands are slippery from the primer, but you get the stylist right here, which is awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just brush this through my brows, just like I would with like a Patricia Major Brow Shaping Wax or Anastasia Brow Freeze. I'm just going to use this to lay down the hairs. And what's great is that you have the stylist on the opposite end, so you could really just use this to brush through the brows. I will say, from previous experience with this product, that I kind of wish that this was in the shape of a spoolie. I get that they try to do something different here, but I just don't feel like this bristle is really combing through my eyebrow hairs. I just prefer a spoolie because I have thicker brow hairs that are very curly. So sometimes it just takes a little bit more effort with something like this. So let's talk about eyeshadows. Now, for me personally, I feel like Fenty Beauty really hit it out of the park when they came out with their iconic Snap shadows. I do personally own like every single shade. I love the concept. I love the formula. I love everything about it. I do want to show you guys the concept. So pretty much I have 2 of these Snap shadows snapped together. I have 10 and 6 here. I do want to open them up because the color stories are very different. I have this smoky palette, and then on the other side, I have this really vibrant green palette. You could also snap them apart. You can travel with just 1 or you can travel with just 2. If you travel with 2, then I mean it's still really small, which I personally love. Like, that's what I love most about the concept, is that you could have such a little mini palette but have so many different options within the color stories because you can mix and match and really customize your little duo. Now, one that I really like is 1 and 3. I do love this color story Drugstore here. It's very warm, right up my alley, but I find that I use one the absolute most. It is more of a neutral tone shadow palette. So even though I want to use this today, I do want to step outside of my comfort zone a little bit, and I want to play around with something a little bit different. So let's figure out what palette I'm going to use. The first shade I'm gonna pick up is this yellow shade here, and as you can see, I've never dipped into this palette, but I've had it in my collection for so long. But I'm just really excited to be playing with it today. You guys know anytime there's a yellow in the palette, I have to reach for it, I have to use it. And I'm just taking this in big circular motions to be the transitional color. Now I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is right on top of that yellow. On that same brush, I'm just going to start tapping it in my crease, but I'm not gonna take it above the yellow. And the reason I'm doing this is because I really want to neutralize the yellow. I don't want it so vibrant and so stark, so that's why I'm just neutralizing it a little bit with the brown. I'm just gonna switch to a different brush, which is a little bit smaller, so that way I could really get like right here in my crease. I really wanna use this brown to just carve out my crease, so I'm just gonna go back and forth in like windshield wiper motions. Oh my God, I haven't heard that since like the old school YouTube days. Am I throwing it back?
That's really the key to getting an eyeshadow to blend, is windshield wiper and then circular.
I might be. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna pick up this shade here from the number 10 palette. Now in the number 7 palette, there's also more of a brown shade, but this one definitely is a little bit more cool tone than what I'm going for. This one actually leans more khaki than anything. It's pretty. I may dip into it a little bit later, but I'm just gonna use the brown in the 10 palette. So dipping back into the number 7 palette, I'm gonna take this bronze shade right here, and I'm gonna tap it closest to that outer V color. You guys know how I get down. I love to take shades like this and just press it right in this area closest to the similar matte color, because I just feel like it blends a million times better. I may even take this and put this all over my lid and then just top it with a different shade, but maybe not. No, I'm just gonna take it like in the center, just like that. I am gonna go in with this shade now. This is a really beautiful, it looks white, but it has like a gold shift to it. And this is the shade I'm putting like right here in the very inner corner. It is gorgeous. Wow. So I'm just gonna take a chunkier brush like this, swipe it back and forth. I will say I wish the shimmer was a little bit more like buttery. It's really pretty, but it doesn't look like it's melting into the skin. It just looks like it's sitting on top of the skin. So that's a bummer, but what I can do is I can spray it with a little bit of setting spray to see if in fact I can get it to be a lot more foiled. So that definitely looks a little more buttery, very pretty. I love the gradient between this gold, this bronze, the matte, the pukey yellows. I feel like everything is just coming together. So now that lashes are on, I do want to move on to our face product, and the star of the show today is the brand new Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. I did try this once before, but as I said in that video, I do want to continue using it. I want to do a wear test. I want to use it with different primers and just with different products to see how it performs for me. And at the end of the month, I will give you guys an update on this product. So stay tuned for that, and make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel for more videos from me. But how I like to apply this is I just apply it straight to my face, and I just kind of go like this. And I feel like for being like a skin tint, it definitely covers up a good amount of my blemishes and hyperpigmentation, which is great. Something I'm always looking for. Now you can definitely see for being a skin tint, this has great coverage to it. It's really covering up all of my blemishes. I am using the shade 8, by the way, which reminds me, I do have 2 extra ones in the shade number 11, which I know are not going to be my shade at all. So I definitely want to give back to one of you guys who may be the shade number 11. So if you think this may be your shade, let me know down below in the comments, and I will pick 2 winners at random to win the brand new Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint by Fenty. So for concealer, I will be using the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer. I have mine here in the shade 230, and I'm gonna use this underneath my eyes to conceal and brighten. I'm also going to take this down the center of my face as well. So like bridge of nose, Cupid's bow, especially my chin area, because anytime I am wearing more of a skin tint, this is the first area to go. I have no idea what it is, but it's the first area to go. So I do really double up here and just conceal these areas, so that way I have maximum coverage throughout the day. So let's move on to cream products, because Fenty definitely has a lot of cream products within the line, one of which is the Fenty Matchstick. I do have this one here, and this is the only one I have in the shade Mocha. Now this definitely has to be my favorite cream formula within the line. One of the main reasons is that it is more of a drier formula, and I feel like that's why a lot of people either hate it or love it. I personally love it for that reason, because when I put it on my face, it stays exactly where I place it and it doesn't move around throughout the day, especially when I am going for a look like this where it is a little bit more dewy and luminous. This just stays in place and it does not move at all. Whereas the Cheeks Out cream bronzer formula that she recently launched, this is more of a wetter formula. It's very, very creamy. So if I was to put this directly on top of a base like this that is a little bit more dewy and luminous, I just feel like this moves around throughout the day, and that's not exactly what I'm going for. By the way, I am in the shade Macchiato, in case you guys are curious, in this formula. And then today I will be using the Matchstick in Mocha. And I do enjoy applying this to a brush first. So I'm just going to brush it on to a brush. The brush I'm using is the Sephora number 56. And the reason I like doing this is because I feel like I have more control over the product. I feel like I say this in a lot of my videos, but look at that color. It definitely looks a little intimidating, but when it blends into the skin, it just looks so natural and so beautiful. I can't say enough good things about this formula. Again, it stays exactly where I place it and it does not smudge or budge throughout the day. So I definitely feel like this one is worth checking out if you're looking for a great cream bronzer formula. So now that I have that bronzer placed exactly where I want it, this is the time I will go back in with that face sponge with a little bit of the concealer and foundation on it, and I'll just tap over the areas where I put that cream product, just because as you can see it did disturb what was on my nose because I haven't set anything down yet. But I kind of like to use this to really help blend and just press everything into the skin. I feel like my bronzer got a little out of control on my forehead, so I'm just toning it down a little bit. And I'm not putting any additional product on here, by the way. I'm just lightly tapping over these areas so that way it comes off a little bit more natural. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with some powder. Now this is my first time ever trying out this powder by Fenty, and I got a little mini version. This is the Mini Instant Retouch Setting Powder in the shade Butter. I was going back and forth between Butter and Banana, but I didn't want to do Banana because most times I feel like banana shades can be way too yellow on my skin tone personally. So I'm really glad I picked up Butter. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Look at the little puff. I can't even deal. I really can't. I'm actually really glad I got the smaller version of this. So I'm gonna take that sponge, I'm going to dip into the powder. It feels and looks very, very fine in the jar. And I'm gonna use this to set underneath my eyes. Oh, I'm nervous. I am nervous. Oh wow, that formula is beautiful underneath the eyes. It kind of gives me more of like a soft focus veil, if you will. Like, I feel like it really just smoothed everything out. Wow, look at the difference between this side and this side over here. Like this side, she needs a little help. She needs a little TLC. So let's go in with that Instant Retouch powder over here. Oh, I love how fine and just silky this powder is. It is gorgeous on the skin. Why is it taking me so long to try this out? If you guys have tried out this powder, let me know down below in the comments. I want to know your experience, if you love it, if you hate it. Speaking of powders, I know Jaclyn Cosmetics is coming out with some powders, also some under eye powders, and I am all for that. I will definitely be picking it up. Another powder I picked up is the Soft Matte Powder Foundation. And I know what you're thinking, like, why are you going in with a powder foundation when you apply the skin tint? Just because. I actually had to pick up a new one of these because the other shades that I have are way too dark for me. So the shade I picked up is 210 Neutral. And I do really love this formula. It's really, really pretty. I'm going to just take a little bit of this and I'm going to use it to set all the other areas of my face where I did not actually go in with that loose setting powder. And I'm not going to go too crazy with this, just very, very lightly. I'm so excited I have an updated shade that actually matches me in this formula because I do really, really like it. I need to update my shade with Fenty. Anytime they send me PR, I feel like all of the complexion products are just way too dark for me personally. But this shade here, this is my perfect shade, 210. In the powder, in case you guys were curious. Now, speaking of the powder foundation, I do have 2 extra shades that are not in the box, but they're brand spanking new. They haven't been touched or swatched or anything like that. I have shade 300 and 310, so if you are any of these 2 shades, let me know down below in the comments and I'll be happy to send them to you. If you are the winner, of course, I will contact you. Make sure you guys leave me your Instagram as well, so that way it's easy for me to DM you and ship these products out to you. So let's talk about blushes. Fenty did drop a bunch of cream blushes last year and I have 2 right here that I love so much. I have the shade Fuego Flush and then I also have Petal Poppin'. I think Fuego Flush is going to look insanely beautiful with this look, so this is actually the shade I'm gonna go with. Not to say Petal Poppin' won't, but Fuego Flush, we love a monochromatic look. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the blush, and the brush I'm using is a Fenty 125 face brush, one of my personal favorites as well. I'm going to just tap this right over here on the highest point of my cheek, just like that. You see how beautiful that looks with the eyes? I am obsessed. Now, I do really love this cream blush formula. I feel like it adds nice luminosity to the cheeks, which is always, always great, especially considering the recent makeup trend. So I'm just really tapping this on and I'm keeping it pretty high up. I'm not going to take it onto the apples of my cheeks. So really just up in this area. So for highlighter, I will be using this right here by Fenty. This is the Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo in the shade Me Money and Hustla Baby. Now my personal favorite formula is right here, and what I love most about it is that it's so fine, but it still gives the skin such a beautiful and healthy glow. So I'm just going to take some onto the apples of my cheeks and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Like my cheek looks highlighted, but it doesn't look like chunky glitter. Now you could even go in with this one right here and really intensify it. For me, this is more of like your typical highlight formula, and you can take that like right up in this area and it's going to give you that beaming looking glow. But for me personally, that's not really what I'm going for today, so I'm gonna apply very minimal of that. I'm really just gonna focus on applying this one right here onto the apples of the cheeks, and I really love that it's buildable and it never looks too crazy. Like, it really is such a beautiful formula. I do quickly want to talk about another highlight formula that I got not too long ago. It is this right here. This is the Diamond Bomb All Over Diamond Veil in the shade Royal Icing. Now this is extremely beautiful, and the best way I like to apply it is right after I apply a little bit of moisturizer to the skin. I put this directly over top of like my shoulders, my collarbone area, anywhere I really want to glow. I love this shade right here in the shade Royal Icing, but I also have an extra that I want to give away to one of you guys as well. This one is in the shade Rose Rave. It is more of like a rose gold shade, so if you're really into that, let me know down below, and I will be picking someone at random to win this right here. So I don't believe Fenty offers any lip liner, so I just line my lips off camera. I use KKW Nude 2, in case you guys were curious. I will have it listed down below. But for lips, I've been obsessed with the Fenty Beauty Slip Shines. These are incredible. They're so good. Probably one of my personal favorite formulas. And I do want to share with you one of my favorite shades. This one here is in the shade Makeout Break. I use this so much. It is kind of like a lip gloss in the form of a lipstick. It is definitely more of a glossy lipstick, like a glossy gloss, but not a gloss. It's so strange, but this one definitely is my favorite, and this is going to be my lip color of choice. I'm sorry, these two together, you can't tell me anything. So good, right? If I had to name something that I really love about the lip formula, is that it kind of feels like it has shimmer in it because it gives off such a beautiful sheen on the lips, but it doesn't feel like chunky glitter or anything like that. Like, it doesn't feel gritty. It feels very smooth. Just very, very hydrating, not sticky whatsoever. Again, one of my favorite lip formulas by Fenty. I know they have their gloss bombs. I know they have their gloss bomb creams, but this one, the Slip Shine, will forever be my favorite. I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of setting spray. This one is not by Fenty. I'm not sure if they have a setting spray in their line. I could be wrong. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to get dressed. I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna take some pictures for the gram. I'm doing a full day wear test on this makeup, so stay tuned towards the end of the video. The time right now, it is 1:17, and I will touch base with you guys in a couple of hours, so I'll see you soon. Woo! Hello you guys, what's up? I wanted to update you guys on the time. The time right now is 5:24, and you guys, I kid you not, I was taking pictures in like 95-degree weather in black leather pants, sneakers, and a long blazer jacket. Like, I was burning up. On top of that, I had a hat on, but the pictures came out fire. Let me just say that. Besides that, I wanted to update you guys on my makeup. I feel like I have a little hat helmet mark here. I don't know if you can tell. I'll definitely need to touch that up because it has nothing to do with how the makeup is wearing, but more so about the hat and accessories I was wearing to take pics today. But this is what my face looks like. It's breaking up a little bit on my nose here because I had to wear a mask to go into Chipotle to get something to eat. But other than that, I feel like it looks really, really good. Obviously, my lip color is completely gone. It's not a long wearing formula, so I will need to reapply, but again, I think my makeup is still looking pretty good so far. So all I can say at this point is holy moly. I've had this makeup on my face for about 8 hours. The time right now is 9:19. Again, 8 hours is a very, very long time to be wearing all of this product on my face. I already know what you're thinking. This area right here, it looks a little alarming. And I know it does, but anything happening in this region here is very particular to me and my skin type. I do have very acne prone skin. So I have a pimple here and here. And as you can see, they are very much inflamed. They want to come out. They want to say hello to the universe. They weren't this big when I originally sat down to film. And I feel like they're a little irritated because I'm wearing makeup for a long period of time and because I was out in the heat. So this area and this area right here, it's not looking too hot. Also, this area right here, this is a dry patch. I have severely dry skin right now, and more times than not, my skin will do this towards the very end of the day when I'm wearing makeup. It'll kind of flake up, peel back, and look just very, very gross. So I don't think that this is the products by any means. I just feel like it's my skin. I'm using a lot of topical treatments right now that are really drying out my skin, so that's why I have a little bit of flaking going on here. Other than that, I do want to talk about the foundation as a whole. I feel like it is a very, very beautiful formula. As you can see, it's not really breaking up in any other areas of my face. However, I look extremely oily. That is definitely a flaw from within. I live in Florida. It was like 95 degrees and I was on a rooftop taking pictures. This is honestly really good for like 95-degree weather. I have some transferring right in this area here. You can see some of my eyeliner just transferred down, but my eyeshadow looks bomb. My mascara looks bomb. I do feel like my blush is still there, so it's still going strong. It didn't fade completely. I also have my highlight, my bronzer, all of that. So everything I applied to my face is very much visible. None of it faded throughout the day. The only big flaw is that I did get very, very oily. So in order to combat that next time, I may need to bring a powder along with me to kind of powder down throughout the day. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. It's been a long day, but I may need to go in with a little bit of powder, and I'm actually gonna do that because I wanna see if it's gonna work or if it's going to cake up. Let's try it out. I'm just gonna keep tapping here in this area. And wow, do you see that? It really mattified this area like no other. So good. Keep in mind, this is going to give you additional coverage, but I feel like it works in the meantime. I didn't powder at all throughout the day. I didn't touch up any of my makeup. You can see my lip color is completely gone because I did go in with one of the Slip Shines, which isn't a long wearing product at all. It's just not looking too hot on my lips and just around this area here. But when I go in with a little bit of that powder and just powder, I feel like I could bring my makeup back to life. So if you needed to wear this a little bit longer, I definitely feel like you could get away with doing it by going in with a little bit of that Fenty powder and then just powdering down these areas. I mean, for me, there's no saving this area right here. My skin is just peeling off my face, so That's just me. I'm also really curious to see if in fact I can get this powder to clean up some of that transfer I experienced right underneath the eye. Honestly, it is really, really helping. Oh wow, like my makeup, it's coming back to life. Does it look as fresh as it did when I first applied it? No. This is really just a touch up if I need it to extend the wear like a couple more hours. Even with applying a little bit of that powder to these ears right here, I still have that dew, I still have that shine, I still have that really beautiful lit from within glow. So I really have no complaints, you guys. Since this video is crazy, crazy long, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have little descriptions or mini reviews for that matter down below in the description next to each product I use. So that way you guys can get a better feel for my thoughts on the products and you guys know what to buy for yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys want me to film more videos like this, let me know what brand you guys want me to feature next down below in the comments. And with that being said, I don't have much else to say except I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.